try to go live after 30. I don't know what happened. So here we go. I think we're live now.
Brilliant.
I don't know how many people are going to watch it, but I'm so glad to have Angela here today. Yay.
Thank you for welcoming me, Ivy. It's so nice to be here.
And Angela shared with me just the great news that she just got a new laptop.
I did.
Unfortunately, not being able to make this live session.
Next time, maybe. I'll have it up and running and everything sorted. Yeah, so for now, I'm just on my phone.
That's great. Well, welcome to this Facebook Live. It's fairly casual. And welcome to whoever joins us. And I can see somebody is watching. So whoever is there, feel free to comment in our chat box, and we will respond to you after the show. And then we'll definitely say hi to you. And so say hi to us, and welcome to the Rocking Horse Toy Shop, kind of what we call the Yorkshire Biz August campaign. And just to explain a little bit, Yorkshire Biz August just came with the idea based on the fact that the 1st of August was Yorkshire Day. So I just thought, I'm based in Yorkshire. It will be a good opportunity to showcase other Yorkshire businesses, and I'm a woman owning a business, so definitely I drawn towards businesses owned by women. So I got in touch with a lot of women in the networking groups, and a lot of them really enthusiastic about it. We all have the common link, which is to serve women, to serve moms. Some are for babies, for toddlers, some are for the mom and for the women. Whatever they do, they all are brilliant in their own way. And I have lined up a whole bunch of blog posts created, the content created by them on our website throughout the whole month. They're already there, most of them, so please feel free to go on our website to find out more about these 24 amazing women businesses that I'm showcasing. Now, a few of them, like Angela, I'm happy to be here to be interviewed rather than just write it down on the blog post. So I organized a few live sessions for you guys to enjoy, to learn about their businesses. Not only that, about the specialties, how you can benefit from them. They can talk about what gift they're going to give away, and talk about a little bit about themselves. Just really the idea of supporting local business, supporting women businesses. And you might not need that service, but you might come across somebody who might do, who never know. It's just more about learning what's out there. I haven't even heard of or thought of the idea of reflexology before meeting Angela. So I would love to hear more, write more about that today. So just to show you my screen here quickly. So this is Angela's blog post. Angela probably can't see it, but the rest should be able to. So it's already on our website, and on your homepage you will see a big banner. You can click it in. She already has a little bit of content there, but today's video will be showcased here later on when I have it ready, and that's where you can find Angela's blog post, as well as 23 other amazing women businesses blog posts. Talked about their wonderful business. They have the links of their business are all there. Feel free to contact them if you want to find out more about the services. And I'm sure Angela will tell you all about her specialty as a wellness specialist today. So, Angela, you ready to be grilled?
Looking forward to it.
So, I'm just gonna ask you a first question. Very easy. So, you're from Yorkshire. What part of Yorkshire is your business based in?
So physically, I'm in York, and I've worked in York with my business, but I have actually, I've been working online before the current COVID outbreak. So with hypnotherapy anyway. So with reflexology, no, that's something that's stopped completely during this time now. I think I know some reflexologists who have gone back to work. Some of them are working in the gardens or in larger rooms, but I haven't yet gone back to return to reflexology. But I have been doing my other work online. I've been doing Zoom for quite a while. while, and I've been helping out people with stress and anxiety and all kinds of issues, and it's been quite fun doing it online. And as I say, I'd already had some clients online. Now all of my
wonderful. That's
so
wonderful.
I live in New York. I can work anywhere within the UK.
Yeah. So tell us a bit more about your business and what makes your business a little bit different from others. Tell us about what you do.
Okay, so I'm a hypnotherapist. I use hypnosis, and I also use something called Old Pain to Go, which is like a brain bargaining thing to help remove chronic long-term pain. So this is pain that's been assessed by doctors and checked out, and everyone's gone down the medical route, but they haven't managed to find a solution and their pain's not gone away. Then I work with pain, and that's one of the favorite things for me. Also within my business, what makes me unique is me and my life experience. So, I mean, I've worked in schools from primary, nursery up to 16. And I've often, so part of my work is working with children. And I was a childminder for a while. So there was all of those skills I learned through doing childminding, through working in schools. They're good people skills, and they're transferable into business as well. I've also had some success working with some young people online for stress and anxiety, teenagers, and even some preteens as well. Because brain bargaining is also useful for things like hay fever. So I helped with a child based in Scotland who had hay fever issues. And I think having those skills of being able to deal with young people and be enthusiastic and get on their level is quite helpful when you're a therapist, because not all therapists like to work with younger people. I mean, I don't niche as such. I tend to find the people who choose me are often, I've had some coaches, some people who wanted to change their lives, break out into new experiences. Quite often it is anxiety, worry, some fears and phobias. There's so many things that I work with, and that hypnosis is good for, as is brain bargaining, and I do neuro-linguistic programming. And a lot of it is about, well, I work with whoever's in front of me and what they bring to the table. But I guess, yeah, having that background in schools and working with children has been really useful for me as well. Yeah, so some of my successes are things like, I mean, that's the thing I love the most, is seeing the results of people. So even when I was first training, one of my first guinea pig clients was a friend, and they were able to go from a job where they weren't happy and they were very frustrated to starting up their own business and working for themselves and creating a new life. And all of this is something that it just, doing the job itself is so rewarding, and it's lovely. You probably realize that when you're passionate about something, you work, it doesn't feel like work. You know, it feels like after a session, I come away thinking, "Woo!" The client feels good, and I feel good too. I mean, do you
work with a lot of mothers?
Well, I mean, for instance, I worked with a lady who was pregnant because she was on antidepressants. She couldn't keep taking the antidepressants during her pregnancy, and she had bruxism, where you grind your teeth. So yeah, we worked together with her anxiety and all of her worries, and yeah, we got into a good place. And her child is now 4 years old and very happy. I did with reflexology. Sometimes there's a thing called priming for labour, where you can. I did extra training in maternity reflexology. So when you're near your time, it's a good way. Normally, reflexology is for homeostasis. It's to settle the body, get it into its normal. Its natural state of kind of flow, and you use pressure points on the feet and hands, usually mostly the feet because of the larger surface area, and all the points, they correspond to areas in the body, and that's a very relaxing experience. And there have been times when I've used clients who've come to me for reflexology and they've had maybe hypnotherapy for fear of flying, and I've used a little of both. So I've used some relaxation techniques, talking to them, almost putting them into, because you go a little bit into a trance-like state when you're relaxed during reflexology, but I just encourage some of that with some hypnotic language as well. So, yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. So how long have you been in the business, and why did you decide to, start the business?
Well, it began, I had an episode in life when there were many changes in the job I was working. And I ended up myself depressed and just feeling sort of, I just couldn't get out of bed. I got into a state where I was just not in a good place.
Yeah.
So over time, with maybe some counselling and some help, I had a job. I got back to work. I got better. And then I took a new job, which was part-time. And I thought to myself, I enjoyed pamper time, me time. So I did like things like massage, and I'd had reflexology, a treatment from somebody, and I thought, this is really lovely. It's really relaxing. So I decided to train in it, and I did it for a year. I trained in the evenings for a year, and I really enjoyed it. And so once I was qualified, I was then going to go on to do some other physical things, maybe like massage, and I did some taster sessions. But then a friend of mine who was a fully trained counsellor, she told me that she was doing a hypnosis course and she found it really interesting and it was good fun. So I looked into it and did a taster day, and I realized actually it's the power of hypnosis to change things. It was amazing. So then I decided, and also one of the things I think is when you do something physical like reflexology or massage, at the end of the day, quite often you can be really tired because you're holding certain positions regularly. And a lot of people who are physical therapists can, maybe some people find that their fingers and thumbs get a little bit tired. Otherwise, maybe backache if you don't look after yourself. So I realized that this was something else and I only needed a voice. So I thought, even if I, wasn't as healthy, I could still use my voice as long as my voice doesn't go and I do look after it. So I decided to follow that course. And so I've been qualified now for about 5 years in hypnotherapy, in reflexology, and 4 or more even. In fact, it's probably, almost coming up for 5 years. It's flown by. And within that time, I've done other training. So I did my basic training over a year, and then I've trained with experts, some from like experts who are renowned within the field in Canada, in Edinburgh, from Denmark. So I really enjoy keeping up with my with trainings and new developments and learning new skills and techniques. And so I have so many tools in my tool bag, and I can just decide like which one I want to pull out to help somebody with when that person's in front of me. So it's, and then I learned the old pain to go, which is not hypnosis, but it's like the inventor calls it brain bargaining. It's basically having a conversation with your unconscious mind that helps make changes within you, because your unconscious mind, its job is always to look after you and protect you, and it's always trying to do that job well. But occasionally it gets stuck in a program that's an old program that doesn't serve you anymore. And so it's a matter of just finding what's happened when that program was installed and uninstalling it, basically.
Can you make people, not knowing what they're doing and yet act like a monkey?
Well, only if they really wanted to. There's some very good hypnotic subjects, but usually what I do is clinical hypnotherapy, and it's not stage hypnosis. So that I mean, there are people who, yes, I mean, you can, if that's what people want, but there's always a little bit of preparation goes on behind the scenes to select people who are most able to do so. And it would have to be someone who would be happy jumping about like a monkey on stage. You couldn't make them do that. If in real life, they would be embarrassed. So the kind of people who are up for it would be up for it and happy to, be on a stage and allow that to happen. But no, I think generally therapeutically, most people don't want to act like a monkey. I encourage people to be playful. I think that's always a good idea. And childlike. When we get back to playfulness and childlikeness, then we can tune into our happier place. I think quite often we can be very serious and take things too seriously. So rediscovering that joy of childhood is always something I encourage with my clients.
That's wonderful. So you talked a little bit about COVID in the beginning. You said you can't really do reflexology stuff at all. Tell me more about it. How are you going to restart it, and how do you pivot? And
I think that some of my colleagues are because but it is a matter of a lot of space, a lot of PPE. I'd be wearing a mask and a visor, and asking my client to as well, cleaning down everything in between. So whilst it is possible right now to be doing so, I work from home, so it's a room in my home as well. I don't have a place elsewhere, so part of that is it's bringing somebody in and out of my home as well. So I think right now, although I could, you know, follow all of the instructions, I'm quite happy working online for now, because I'm still making a difference in people's lives, which is what I want to do, and I'm still helping people in other ways, and I think I can also, part of my offer, one of the things I've offered as in the giveaway that you've this month, is a relaxation session along with a hypnofacial. Now, generally, when people have hypnosis, one of the most frequent comments I get is how relaxed people are afterwards and how they sleep really well. And this is one of the things that is also true of reflexology. But when you work with someone and get them to that stage where they can just want to drift off, and especially when you work from home and you see people in their own homes, you can have them relaxed and they can be ready in bed just to fall asleep afterwards. The thing when you go out for a treatment is afterwards, even you can be beautifully relaxed and comfortable in your chair, but then you need to get
up and drive
again. So I think some of the clients who'd seen me in person and then seeing me afterwards were sort of saying, actually, it's quite nice to be able to just totally relax, and then after I've spoken to you, just go and just sleep and really enjoy feeling how relaxed that they are. So yeah, working online is really easy. It's just a matter of as long as your internet connection's okay. That's the only difficulty we have.
We have a lot of frozen cases, isn't it, during the lockdown.
I worked with a gentleman who lived in the countryside somewhere, and he couldn't get his laptop to work and it was stuck, and we were ringing each other up and trying to figure out what to do. In the end, we used his phone and my phone, and we used WhatsApp, and we used the video, and we were able to work over that. It was just as good. It worked on his mobile better than his laptop, and the signal wasn't as good. So that's the only real barrier. I mean, generally, and as well, I think with younger people, sometimes working with young people, they're used to screens. They talk to their friends through screens, and it's a little bit less intimidating to go and see a therapist if you're still in your own house, in your own space, and you know, with your parent can be present in the room. And so I find actually there's lots of benefits to going online. I guess you haven't got the travel time included, transport costs. I mean, I never had a problem. I always have parking here, and I always made the place feel nice, and it was very welcoming. But as I say, for the moment, because the rules are changing all the time, for me, I'm going to say, and especially when you have, you don't want anybody whose health might be at risk, no matter how many precautions you take. I would need to be responsible for being the cause of somebody else if I made a mistake. So for me, I'm happy to stay online for as long as needs be, really.
Would you consider actually including online services as your standard service after this COVID thing?
I'm still happy because if in person was possible, I am a touchy-feely kind of person. I like to see people, you know, and things like, for reflexology, the hands-on contact, it was one of my favorite treatments, because just having someone work on your feet, it just releases so much sort of tension and energy as well. So I do enjoy that practice. So I would go back to it, probably more so for reflexology. Yes, for hypnotherapy, if clients wanted to see me in person, but again, it's easier, you know, you don't have to have that kind of waiting time. Because I always leave a big enough waiting time so clients don't see each other coming and going. And online, you can just have the next person in the room. You can leave some gaps if you need to, but you can also it's connecting in a new way, and it possibly is the way forwards for many people.
Great. Well, there's a question about, you know, what's your one product or service you recommend, like women or babies? But I want to tweak it a little bit. Just ask if you have any story. What is the youngest age of client you've seen, and what kind of fear or, you know, problems have you helped them to solve? Because I'm sure moms here would like to, you know, hear, you know, what you can do, your magic hands, or, you know, hypnosis ability. It may be that babies, that the babies have some sort of fear issue they might, you know, need to seek help from. So would like to hear from you about that.
Well, as far as I mean, I've worked with quite a lot of teens for exams, and I think even with younger children, because I mean, at the moment things are different because the exams that were planned haven't happened. And it's funny because I know I worked with one student who was really anxious about preparing for their exams, and after some work with me, he was just like back in school. He was like really excited for his exams, and then COVID came along, and I'm like, oh, how are you now? And he said, I'm fine about work and life and COVID. That doesn't bother me. I'm just feeling a bit fed up living with my family. I said, we're all getting on each other's nerves a little bit. And I said, that's kind of normal. But we did some work on that, so that instead of being bothered by a younger sibling, instead of that younger sibling irritating them, we gave him like a little magic cloak and a little protective tool. So every time his brother said something, instead of annoying him, it just made him laugh and he felt calm.
Aww.
So, and I think I worked with, I think an 11-year-old who had some hay fever issues, runny eyes, nose, breathing difficulties. And at the end of the session, he was sort of like, yeah, my eyes aren't itching. Yeah, that's great. Thank you. But again, we sometimes with younger people will use their own imagination, because a good part of hypnosis is using your unconscious mind and imagining things. So with some of them, we can use magic wands, magic cloaks, and just work with their imagination to sort things out. So yeah, I think the youngest at the moment is 11. Although I've done some sort of covert hypnosis on smaller family members, shall we say. It's more about language and how you talk to people, and there are little tricks, and some of them I think is learned through just working with children, giving them choices and making them feel empowered. It's definitely
that's great. Yeah.
I've worked with people who've had like dog phobias. So people who would change their route because they were scared of passing a dog on the way. Even borrowed my sister's dog to test it with afterwards. I don't have a dog, but I had my sister's dog waiting in the other room, and afterwards I was able to say, okay, here's the dog. And he was like, okay. And so there are so many things you can use all of these techniques for. But fears and phobias, quite often with people, they might, with young people, they can pick them up from elsewhere. Spider phobias are common. Dogs, there are some more unusual ones, snakes. And it's only a problem if you're going to encounter it, and it doesn't have to be a problem. Some people just avoid going near things. But if you have something like a wasp phobia, then it can be dangerous, because if you're driving and a wasp flew into the car, then some people would crash rather than be able to calmly stop. So that would be me. So I've worked a lot with those kind of things, and I think with children as well, it's about positive language, like positive parenting, and using. So instead of no and don't, it's really like the sort of thing you do in school. Instead of don't run, the children almost hear run and they carry on. So it's kind of like, walk please. Almost like, walk please. Thank you for walking. Thank you for walking. Those kind of things, teaching language patterns that are really helpful.
That's great. I think we've learned a lot about your business and what you do and how you can help all the families and people out there. It's just amazing. Now let us know a little bit more about yourself. I'm going to ask you a few kind of trivial questions just to get to know you a bit more about you. So what or who inspires you in general, when on a daily basis or in life?
I'm going to go with what, really, rather than who. There are people who do inspire me, but nature, getting outside. I do love to travel. That's one of the things that's been a bit disappointing. Last year I was away in Portugal and Spain a lot, and I really enjoy sort of going abroad, meeting people, new foods and cultures. So I'm going to do randomly, I'm thinking of, I've got a surfing lesson booked. So I go into the sea, so I'm going to learn how to surf.
Lovely.
I learn how to ride a motorbike. That's been something a friend of mine was doing recently. So just trying something different, something new. I think novelty is great. Keep your mind working, learn new skills, but generally being outdoors. So whether it's by the sea, just paddling, swimming in a loch or by a lake. I do like water, but nature in the grand scheme of things, that's something that inspires me. And I like, I feel when I get out and about and have that kind of experience, I feel like my battery gets topped up and I have more energy and a more enthusiasm for life and doing what I do. So yeah, I guess nature inspires me.
That's great. What about when you are inside in the house? Do you watch TV?
I watch a lot of things on. I've gone a lot of courses, so I've got like lots of hypnosis courses and things that I love to watch and catch up on, and maybe YouTube videos. So again, it's kind of like work, but it's fun too. So I've had like a coach and mentor, James Tripp. I watch a lot of his stuff, his YouTube videos, and sometimes that's also to do with not just about hypnosis, but it's also like about mindset and creating yourself and how it works. So I work a lot on myself and mindset too. Cooking, I enjoy food, although I prefer other people to cook it.
Yeah, that's why I barely do my cooking. Usually my husband does all that.
And again, people, I enjoy people. So during this time, I've been doing things like virtual networking, some online Spanish classes in a little group.
Wow.
So, yeah, again, some coaching groups. So I've done some things online as well to just keep me ticking over. I'm never bored. I don't know how people have time to be bored.
So when you are alone, when you have some spare time being alone, what's your favorite like me time or self-care activity?
Well, I do like reflexology, I have to say that. But I think I also like random things and I like trying out new things. So I've always enjoyed massage, physical touch, Indian head massage, all those things. But random things like gong baths, sound baths. I haven't yet tried, but you know, those like flotation tanks. I'm quite looking forward to where you're just suspended in like salty water and the water supports you. And you maybe can have music or I don't know. I haven't tried it yet, but it's on my list. But I think some people might find it claustrophobic. I wouldn't have that problem because I work on that. But it's just about maybe just I don't know, maybe going back into the womb, the idea of just being supported and be in your own mind.
Yeah, I find when I was in Japan, living in Japan, I tried like a sauna, but it's like in a very small cube in a way. I could not breathe, and I cannot do sauna ever again. It's I just don't like the heat, and I just cannot breathe in there. Even though you can, I know you can, but I just wasn't.
But if you've had an experience in like a very small, almost claustrophobic space, so the space is claustrophobic, and the fact of thinking you can't breathe, that wouldn't be so helpful. In a bigger room with more space, perhaps you could introduce it. Yeah.
Ever since the heat's kind of stuck in my mind, I just don't do sauna.
I can help you if you with that if you want.
Maybe scared of wasp would be more important.
You can sort that out if you want to get rid of your wasp.
Scared of everything that's creepy, crawly, and flying. That's probably my bit. So a little bit final question. You live in York. How long have you been living in Yorkshire?
I'm from Liverpool originally, but I've now lived longer in York than I've lived in Liverpool. So maybe I'm thinking my eldest daughter's 25 now, so 27 years, I think.
Wow.
So yeah.
So you must know everything about Yorkshire. So what is your one thing?
I'm always a tourist in my own town. I love going about like finding all the best places, and we are spoilt in Yorkshire. I mean, today I went into York itself to pick up my laptop. I popped into somewhere to have a dinner. There's so many restaurants and places around. I walked partly around the medieval walls. So York city centre itself is fantastic. But in the past week, I've been to the coast, which is beautiful beaches, really like sandy, unspoiled, private little coves you can find with little cafes that do nice cake. Then I was in Knaresborough recently, walking along the river, beautiful scenery there. You know, we've got the dales, we've got the moors. It's just North Yorkshire is a fantastic place to live, and I love it when people come to visit. You know, I'm always kind of like, oh, let's go here, let's go there. And so I mean, this week my mum is staying with us, and so I think we'll choose
Oh,
somewhere to go out tomorrow, find somewhere nice. She's going to
lovely.
go with my sister on some day trips, and I think, yeah, well, let's see. We're spoiled for choice. But yeah,
Yes, I do believe that. I moved here 2 years ago, and I think I feel much more like home than the south where I used to live with my husband. But yeah, I that's why I would like to embrace this lovely county and the women who live here and doing amazing thing like you. So thank you.
thank you.
So you're a mom yourself, you said.
Yeah.
So what is the one piece of advice you give to a new mom?
Okay. For a newborn's mom, I would say listen to your instinct, believe yourself, because there are some times when you think other people might be the experts and know more than you, but actually trust your gut. Sometimes other people are wrong and you can be right. It's great to get good advice, but if it doesn't feel right, don't go with it. And the obvious one is sleep, rest when you can, and like take help when it's offered, because people can always say, oh no, it's okay. If someone offers to cook you some food, and especially in the first few weeks or so, and if someone offers to, if you have more than one, like if you have like maybe a baby and a toddler, if someone says, I'll play with your toddler or take them for a walk while you have the baby, literally take help. Don't be proud. If someone offers, take advantage of it, really. But more than anything, when the baby sleeps, take a nap. Rest. Find time for you. It's really important. Don't rush into doing everything. I mean, if you get dressed, that's great. Give yourself some applause, because it's it's beautiful, it's wonderful having a newborn, but there are so many things to think about, and it is just about like just do what you need to do, which is basically eat the baby, change the baby, and sleep, make sure they sleep. See to the essentials, and don't worry about makeup or clothes. If you get dressed in the first few weeks, well done. It's a bit like, look, spend your time in pajamas, be comfortable. Enjoy that time. That's it, enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because it goes by so quickly, it really does. And with toddlers, appreciate their imagination. Yeah, because and join in when they've got magical kingdom or all these special powers. Don't say that's not true and you can't do that. Allow them to just enjoy the magic. I think that's really important. We can be a bit too logical and grown up, and I did enjoy my girls had make-believe play for a long time. When other kids weren't, they were still having their own little make-believe world, and sometimes they dealt with issues through that. I think when my grandma died and we went to the funeral, they did like Barbie funerals and Sleeping Beauty, and they kind of worked stuff out and it made it games. So
I do believe allowing them to just venture out and use their imagination. That's one of the main reasons why we sell so many wooden toys and advocate about those wooden toys, because you can mix and match anything. They can have a dinosaur piece, having fun with a princess,
Absolutely.
creating their own world, and put all of those toys together, and they're just so good quality and long lasting, and they just that's why we sell them.
And some of the natural materials are really nice, and the colors and the vibrancy of them as well. And it's allowing them to be imaginative, and not like that's not how you play with it.
Just like I love Friends, just like Phoebe, being not being allowed to play with the dollhouse, and she built her own dollhouse and with a big dinosaur. And I think it's just like that when you let children just like that, isn't it?
And I think it's as well. I mean, it's a case of just encourage them to have fun and enjoy themselves, because I mean, really, we would allow play to continue for as long as possible and encourage it, and stay away from the gadgets, for as long as possible. Because they rob you of curiosity. It's always like, oh, let's ask Google, let's do this. Allow them, I mean, just to be creative in their own minds and to make up their own stories, and get books involved, give them books or anything they enjoy reading as soon as possible. Whether it's picture books or just playing with their own toys and making up their own stories. Encouraging creativity, I think, is amazing, because when you become creative, you become a problem solver, and that's an important skill in life. You can pass all the exams you need, and on paper you look great, But if you can't think for yourself outside the box, it's not just about passing exams, it's about being creative.
That's lovely. Lovely chat. So finally, can you tell your our audience what are you going to give away in our August giveaway contest?
Okay, so the opportunity to online live with me in a Zoom call to have a relaxation session.
That's a new word. Just take it.
And it would be a relaxation session, which includes what's called like a hypnofacial. So it's like the feeling, I mean, you work on yourself, I explain what to do, and it just makes you feel so relaxed and so calm. And so that's about 45 minutes long, and it could be for anybody in the country. You could, in pregnancy, what they say with hypnosis is, they often say it's contraindicated in the first 3 months. The same with things like reflexology. The only reason they say that is there's no evidence that says there's anything wrong with it. It's just about in case somebody was to have anything happen, and if they were to lose the baby, in case they attached it to the idea that maybe it was because. But actually, I've had reflexology, and I've worked on clients who are up to 3 months because they've chosen, because actually you're just working with imagination when you're working with relaxation. So it's literally a wonderfully calming, relaxing session for you to just chill, lie back, and just go off into a wonderful place of calm relaxation, and to come around feeling amazing afterwards.
I think a lot of moms need that after so many homeschooling and having
somebody else in charge. Get yourself comfortable and tune in.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much today for your lovely time and the chat with with us, and let our audience get to know you and what you do much more, and I know much more about your specialties now, and I had so much fun talking to you.
It's been really chatting.
Stay here. When I finish the live, we can just have a goodbye for the two of us, but I really appreciate you coming here. And we just for the people who came today to watch us, if you can't watch the full thing, feel free to watch a replay. You can hashtag replay in the comments so that we know you have watched. Let us know if you have any questions about Angela's business or services. I'm sure you can get in touch. She will be able to answer your questions, and maybe even organize a little bit of chat with you to see how she can help you. We do have hopefully 2 or 3 more kind of live sessions like this coming up this month. So just stay tuned on our Facebook page. Whenever I have scheduled the live, it will become a post instantly, and you can see when is the next one. It will likely be next week. So you can just click on to get a reminder, and you can watch us live next time. But all of the other 23 amazing women already have their own guest blog post on our website, so please go and check it out, therockinghorsetoyshop.co.uk. You see a big banner on the front page. Go click on it, and there'll be links to all of the wonderful businesses blog posts. Let us know if you have any questions, and I really look forward to seeing you all again. And thank you so much for coming. See you soon. Bye.